are you close to anything in that regard? Could you at least say that?
No, man. I'm a ghost driver in a meat suit. I'm trying to figure that out.
What the is that?
Hey Dre,
Welcome back to the 2.5 LLCs Podcast. I'm your host, Dre, and the BUIODING. And this is episode such and such of the 2.5 LLCs Podcast. I say it's such and such because we don't know when this is going to drop. This could be the last episode of this season. This could not be. We're not sure yet. But you'll know when it comes out what episode this is because it'll be in the title description. If you can read, which I know you can. In other news, I have my co-host with me to my left, aka your right if you're watching, Antwon.
Carter Boy 2521.
And we have special guest, and I don't know what to call the mask this is.
It's a mystery. We revealed at the end of this.
Hey, this how we do interviews now, right?
All right.
I mean, we following the supreme leader, right?
Some people are, some people aren't.
Oh man, take this shit out my face, man.
That being said, welcome to the show, aka the co-owner of the studio, aka my boss, aka Suprbadd, aka
Man, what you talking about? You a boss in yourself, man. What you?
True indeed. But all right, let me rephrase then. Also someone who I collaborate with on, I don't even know how to phrase this, but however, this man pays me. End of the day, let's just go with that. Suprbadd, aka Mike, aka what else do you call yourself, sir?
Dad. That's been it mostly lately. I ain't really been having too much time to do nothing else other than that. I had like 8 titles before the pandemic. And now I ain't got but like 2. Three at best.
So let's speak about that. How did that end up happening? Because before the pandemic, you were artist / studio engineer / producer / not saying you aren't all those things still, but there was a focus shift that happened. If I'm wrong, speak to my point here.
You want to really know what happened?
What's up?
4 motherfucking gray hairs. That's what happened. I found 4 goddamn gray hairs right here on my chin. And I said, what the shit am I doing with my life? And I started looking at all my accounts. And I said, I ain't rich enough yet. I need to figure out another path, another direction. So I still ain't found that shit yet, but I don't know. You know how Moses came back from the hill with the white hair? He knew some shit. I got white hair and I'm still trying to figure shit out. So I don't know.
We stayed up there 30 years, something like that.
Yeah, he was up there, man. He was up there. I don't know, man. I guess what happened? What was the focus shift? I don't know. I wanted to figure out how to leave a mark with definition on my legacy. And so I started reading a few things and started studying some people who have done so. And I don't know, that's just, I guess my focus has been more introspective and studying as of late. I haven't determined what my doing phase, what my next doing phase is gonna be at. So that's all.
Reason I asked because there was a moment in time where engineer, but also I want to try this artist path.
Yeah.
Not saying it came and went, but it wasn't a long term. At least at this iteration anyway, the current couple years since when COVID happened, it wasn't that long of a journey this time. How was that so?
What, artists?
Yeah.
Artistry? I'm a procrastinator. That's my biggest problem. Like, I knew what time I was supposed to be here. It was like 8 o'clock, right? I got here at 8:03. You know why I got here at 8:03, Dre?
Why?
Because I had to take a shit. And I probably could have focused on making sure I had everything I needed to get done before 7 o'clock. So I get here, 30 minutes early, like, people of the other fair skin. And, we'd had time to chat about what we're going to do, all of that pre-show stuff that, should be done. But I decided once I was done on Snapchat, I was like, I'm about to leave, but I probably should take a shit before I leave. So, yeah, man, I'm a procrastinator.
Funny story about that. This show was supposed to start an hour ago.
Right.
However, me getting new equipment and me also taking a shit earlier. It's the same reason why we're in this predicament right now.
Yeah, man. And I'm sitting here. I'm sorry. I'm not being rude. I'm not paying you that attention, but I'm just ordering tacos. That's all. I'm like multitasking right now. So
Yeah, that's your thing.
what's that?
That's your thing, multitasking. That's definitely one of your things.
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm trying to minimize that. I'm trying to stop doing that. So, a cool thing I read, and I already knew this, but it was just kind of cool reading it again, was about specialists. So you have generalists and you have specialists. Generalists in whatever field they're generalists in. Let's say, for instance, doctors, like family practice doctors, right? They do everything. They get people in, from 8 years old up to, however old grandma is, right? They treat everything as much as they can. If something is like more in depth than general medicine, then they send them to a specialist, right? To get fixed, whatever needs to be done. Like you got colon cancer. I got to send you to, I can't, be a generalist doctor. I can't be a general family practitioner and treat your colon cancer. Mm-hmm. I can just follow the directions that the specialist is giving you, in my field. But I'm going to send you to the specialist to get that special treatment. Now, the generalist is going to make a good impact on somebody's life, but the specialist is going to make the biggest impact because the specialist hones in on one particular thing, and their focus is being so good at completing that one specific thing in not only an efficient manner, but also a timely manner, and they get it right every single time because that's what they do all day, every day, right? And in most cases, specialists make multiples times more than a generalist does. Because when you go to a generalist doctor, right, you're going to pay $120 just for a visit, right? You go to a specialist, they going to charge you for the consultations probably about $300, $400, $500, whatever. Then when they actually get into whatever they doing to you, the treatment, it's going to be you're gonna need some insurance to get this shit done. That type of situation. So I was thinking about, damn, I've been doing a lot of generalist work. I ain't been focused in on any specialist work. That was actually my intention on when I got into the music industry, was like to be a specialist for hip hop, right? To be, cause like this area, Raleigh didn't have studios that catered to hip hop specifically. Like, you couldn't walk in the studio and feel like I'm about to spit these bars, and the engineer and the producer is gonna be able to hit me back with some feedback to help me come with the lyrics or come with a style, or switch up the cadence a little bit to kind of get me in the pocket on what's going either trending now or gonna be the future trend in hip hop. It wasn't like that. It wasn't nowhere like that in Raleigh when I started, and I wanted to be that, right? But I wasn't the only one. Come to find out, that wanted to be that. So, a lot of hip hop studios came up, and I guess hip hop kind of came to be the new in genre. It came to be the most. Hip hop is like the new rock now, right? Like back in the 20s, the late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, it was all pop, rock music, R&B. Hip hop was always, they ain't even like show hip hop on the Grammys, right? Yeah. It was the backline story, but now hip hop is like the forefront of everything. Like every commercial's got rap music, every movie's got rap music. You turn on your TV shows, the theme music is hip hop. Everybody, ever since what was that fucking I ain't even watched that show. Everybody was so hot up on that show that was on BET, that they was making the music and they was dropping a new track every week or some shit like that. What was that step? Come on, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It was just a drama field about the music industry.
Not Love and Hip Hop.
No, it wasn't Love and Hip Hop. No, it wasn't a reality show. It was a scripted show. Man,
I remember another one called Rhythm and Flow a
Not
while
that one,
back.
not
I know that's not what you're talking about. Yeah.
Damn, I gotta look this shit up.
I don't watch BET, so I can't give you any reference.
Last time I watched BET, maybe I do kind of watch the Martin Marathon album, but outside of that,
Empire. God damn it.
Oh.
See what I'm talking about?
That wasn't on BET though. That was on Fox.
It was on Fox?
Yeah.
It was on BT? Okay, yeah.
It was on
See
Fox.
that? I ain't watch it. Because I lived in real like hip hop shit, in real music industry, so
It was a semi.
I knew that was like
It was a
traumatized.
semi okay representation.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Of it.
It wasn't.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I try to give it some credit, but
It was
you're right.
traumatized. It was
Yeah.
Hollywood, like
I watched one episode.
they don't do none of that.
But that's what ends up going to though sometimes. That dream being sold of everybody can be successful, buy this course so you can figure out how to be the industry producer. When they know good and well they ain't even in the industry them damn stuff. They just know how to make a living.
Oh man,
Usually the people that
the course people. I love the course people. I know a few rich course people, and they'll tell you, like, the courses made them rich. It wasn't. It wasn't
it was not what they actually allege they do. It's the course.
Yeah.
Because they built enough of a following to sell that dream, and then people buy into it because they think it's gonna actually help them. Not saying it doesn't help some of them, but for the most part of people that are buying it mostly, it's not gonna help you.
Hey, you know what's more fun? Is the masterclass people who teach people how to make courses to make other people buy courses. That's even more. It's like, there's a depth. And then, like, I've talked to the people who have these master classes, and they were like, they charge. They make up fucking prices for the master class, like the sessions. Like, They'll be like, I got this class, right? This course, right? After this course is consultations, right? And then I also have master classes. I have what I forgot the term that they use, some type of specialist calls or whatever, where someone who's built another whole other, I hate to call it a pyramid, but it's kind of like a pyramid, but it's like more around
the funnel.
Yeah, it's funnel.
A
A
funnel,
funnel.
a funnel,
Yeah,
huh?
somebody that's already
Click
built them
funnels, yeah.
a funnel. However, they stumped on one part, and they'll call them for a consult to get a master class on, or a master. I don't know what this term is. I forgot. They told me that they'll call them to get the consult, basically to help them get over the hurdle of what's where they stumped in their funnel at, and they just make up fucking numbers because they feel like, because if they pay it to get over that hurdle, the value of what's going to happen after that hurdle with what's happening in their funnel is going to far outweigh what they paid. So they just fucking make up numbers. And he said, I've heard a guy say he had a $10,000 call. It was 30 minutes long. So, I mean, and then some people, this same person told me that some people will call him just to give him money to tell him thank you. They set up an appointment just to pay him money to say thank you for your book. It helped me make blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. But, I mean, the course people, man, I respect them too, man. Everybody gotta.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying.
Everybody gotta hustle.
I'm not saying if you're able to do it, have fun. Go ahead, do what you do. I ain't mad. It's just I thought of perspective on the topic. That's all.
Yeah. Nah, it's cool because then again, it just caters to that attention span thing we was talking about. Like, people don't.
What about your sample pack and your media pack guys?
Yeah. Oh, the sample pack and media pack guys.
Drum kits.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, a lot of that be like recycles. That's crazy too, right?
Damn near everybody uses the same drums today.
Yeah. EQ a little different or something.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit different processing, possibly.
The template people? How about your template people?
Yeah,
some of them just be stealing them.
I thought about stealing some templates and selling them. I thought about buying a template pack, rearranging it a little bit, and reselling it. Because once I look at the template, I understand signal flow so well. I can look at the template and be like, oh, they just did this, that, and this. Let me replace this shit with that shit. And, you know, it's my template now. So.
Technically, you're right.
Yeah. Once you learn signal flow, it. Some people just don't understand signal flow, and they rather pay somebody else to do that for them. Which is, I mean,
come to AMI Studios, we'll help you.
Yeah.
No, we won't. We'll just charge you. You want a template? Yeah, man.
I didn't say it was free.
Yeah. That's always fun, man. I heard somebody say something about the A students and the C students. Like, the A students have to know everything in order to be successful, and the C students have to know the right people to be successful.
There's a there. I understand. Yeah. It's all about relationships. I've come to realize, not quote unquote networking, but actual genuine relationships you have with people, and y'all just having to do cool stuff together. Because I think even I probably might have had this wrong for a while. The networking thing is not all the way elaborated correctly, because you go to networking events and y'all just talk for like about half an hour, 2 hours, and you never talk to them again until either the next one or never.
Yeah.
Because you still don't know these people, and and some of them might just want to just talk just to talk.
Yeah, you gonna have to meet them people like 3 or 4 times for them even to realize.
Yeah.
I've had shit where I do some stuff and I'll see somebody somewhere. They'll remember your face. Oh yeah, I remember you from where? I remember you from. Oh yeah, that thing that was back then. And I'll be like part of something that they had somebody else put together that they just hired me to help out with. And like, you could have just fucking hired me. And we did this network thing. I thought that was the whole point of it. So the more you get in people's perspective and the squeakier the wheel. That's how the course people make their money. Is they're the squeaky wheel. That fucking guy with the what is that he's not even a course guy. He's a template guy. But he always coming on Instagram sounding like all the rappers, like each one of the rappers, like Future, and this is the Drake sound, or this is the.
It's a couple of them. It's not.
Come on, Wave Man.
That's the guy. He knew exactly what.
Wave Man. So
Yeah,
he got kind of his claim to fame by sounding like Trippie Redd on Love Scars.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he got his kind of claim to fame on
Yeah.
YouTube, and then he started making the templates. But the thing was, he could do it in the templates, but he knew how to sound like those
He knew how to
artists.
sound.
So that's how he's able to sell it so well, because he actually has vocal talent in a sense that he can sound like the artist. So it makes his template sell.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, man, it's, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, man. At the end of the day, you go to these networking events, the more you make yourself present in whatever means that they're, whatever means that they find their resources from, the more you make yourself present, then the more opportunities are going to come. So if you want to be rich, you got to be squeaky.
Yeah, no, for real though. Because the more you're available and the more you're around people and situations, that's where.
Nah, you don't be available. Don't be available.
I'm gonna get to why I said
that looks like.
We get to where I said available in a second.
Yeah.
I said that with wrong context.
Yeah.
But the more you're around, the more people see you at places. Like, oh, I just saw you here. You become everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You become interesting. Then they ask questions, and then that's how business can get exchanged.
You gotta be there, but you gotta be out. You on the way to do something else. You come pop in, look, bam, hey, I'm here, I'm out. Don't fucking linger. No, man, don't be available. When a nigga call you, make them wait. Like, hey, I can get you in for next Tuesday. I'm sorry it's taking so long, but I got this going.
Can't
I learned
see
it from the car industry, man. The more you make people wait because you're busy,
You
The
eliminate the people that don't really want it.
yeah, you eliminate the people that don't. That's not serious. And then because people, when you seem busy, they don't want to waste your time. It's fucked up how that works, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you seem busy, they don't want to waste your time. And so you eliminate the bullshit. And then also, when they finally get that opportunity to work with you,
They come
they
prepared.
value, they come prepared. They value your time more. And then the sale is way quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they know you must be busy for a reason. You must be doing something right. All these people was come, I was lucky enough to get in on this time. So I'm gonna trust what you saying to be right. I might have some questions, of course. Everybody should have questions to make sure that they understand what they're doing, but for the most part, they're gonna trust what you present to them. And so you tack your sticker on there as you please. $10,000, 30 minutes. You're gonna be rich, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah, make yourself busy. And don't just make yourself busy for fake busy. Make yourself busy with stuff like practicing your craft, or I don't know,
learning new skills,
prospecting.
Yeah,
Like I'm bad here recently. That's another thing that's happened since COVID. I ain't been prospecting like I should. One of my biggest things is constant contact. That's what I feel like helped me build any business, is when people reach out, either buy something from you, or inquire about your services or your products or whatever, keeping that contact with them. It's being squeaky wheel. It's more squeaky wheel type stuff. So, like, even though I might have an artist coming here 4 times a month, once a week, whatever, I'm still gonna hit them up on a regular basis, at least once every 3 months. Only because the list is kind of long now. I'm gonna try to hit them up at least once every 3 months to say, "Hey man, how's your project coming? I just wanted to check in with you, see what's going on with your music, what direction you trying to go in. Give me some updates on like some things that might help you get to where you're trying to be at, or some people that you've been trying to get in contact with. Maybe I might have somebody who can help you do that." Constant contact like that just lets people know that, number one, you concerned with their well-being. You really not just trying to, give me your money, get the fuck out, type situation. And then number two, it reminds them in their mind that what I'm doing, somebody is receiving it, and somebody sees what I'm doing, and I have potential to do more. And they in turn have more value in themselves with that. So yeah, that's all.
Who are you without, like, this would be AMI Studios? Like, if you didn't have this, who would you be?
Who am I without AMI Studios? I'm dad, man.
Just that.
I'm dad. Nah, I mean, I'm dad first. Husband. Well, I guess it's the other way around. I had to be husband first before dad. I actually did it that way. Most people kind of do it the other way, but I did it the old-fashioned way. What else? What would I be without AMI? I ain't never been one to sit still and watch the world. Wait for the world to hand me an agenda. I was just telling my kids, we just had this conversation on the way back, from Charlotte today. I had this is my 13th job. Yeah, it's like, it was kind of crazy because I never counted, and we were on the way back, and I went and named all the jobs I had since I was. What they let you work at 15?
15.
You get a work permit at 15.
15, yeah.
So since 15, as soon as I was able to get one, I went and got one. And I was actually working before that. I didn't even think about that. My dad used to he installed satellite dishes. So he would have me put together the satellite dish and he paid me $5 each one. But either way, I had 13 up to here at AMI. I had 13 jobs. And so I never like waited to try to find or waited for somebody to present, something to me. I always like, if I was done with this one, I'm on to the next one. Be it if it was something that, I've been fired. I've been fired from 3 jobs, and all of the rest of them was just like, it was just time to move on type thing. It was either the business closed or, I was back and forth from home in college. So, over the summer I'd leave from the college job, take a job over the summer. I like to have money and be able to do the shit I wanted to do. Like, I like girls. Girls ain't cheap. And I like, I used to, like hooking up my car and stuff. And so, like, I always was one to try to make the next thing happen for myself. So who am I without AMI? I'm still a go-getter. I'm if it wasn't for this business, I would have probably started another business. I'm still starting other businesses as we speak, but I guess that's just a drive that I've always had. Is like, I got to make a move. Anything else other than that, I would say I'm a ghost driving a meat suit. Yeah. I feel like I'm a semi-connected spirit. I ain't got to where I want to be yet, but I'm searching for enlightenment.
Careful.
I've actually had about 7 to 8 jobs if I counted.
Yeah.
In total, I had about like 7 to 8.
About 8.
Believe it or not.
Shit, man. You ain't got but 5 more.
And the reason I lost them kind of same you said. I either grew out of them since from a younger.
Yeah.
Or business closed. That happened to my first official job. It closed down.
Right.
And COVID happened, so that's how I lost my other ones.
Yeah, man.
So I didn't even realize I had that many jobs. One, I just worked one day. I didn't get a call back.
I've got a few of them. I ain't even count them. I got a few of them.
I still don't even know how that even happened, but all right.
Yeah, I got a few of them. I mean, you can't consider that a job. That's just like that's a trial. You just went to see if this was something you really wanted.
No, I just didn't get a call back.
Yeah.
I got paid and all that for the whole day. I got paid for the day and all that.
That was a trial. It was a trial. It might not have been your trial. They trial.
Yeah. That might be a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that one. Yeah. You can't count them. I got a few of them. I ain't even count them.
Yeah. So from all you've done, from being the son of a legendary audio engineer around the area, from your father being part of Black Sheep.
Who told you that?
I did my research.
Oh, man.
I actually had to look on because I heard them, but I didn't know who they was until I looked back at some old clips. It's like, oh, snap.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I played that song, like their breakout song. Like, they had a bunch of hits, but their biggest hit, I played it for my kids, and it was like, that shit was on, they ain't say shit. They was like, that was on Spider-Man. Yeah, I was like, man, that's kind of cool, man. I said, you should tell your pop that. He'd probably be proud to hear that.
So being around there from a young age, what did you take away that was your most important?
Don't trust a motherfucking soul. Get shit in writing.
I agree 100%.
That's what I got from it. Because really, I've heard people say it since I kind of knew from, what happened with their relationship or whatever, that like, yeah, you shouldn't. You should get your stuff in writing. But then I heard somebody say, I don't know who said it, but they was like, contracts keep friends friends. And I was like, that makes all the sense in the world. Because if everybody's on the same page from the beginning, you can always refer back to the shit that we wrote down. Yeah. And if we need to renegotiate from there, then yeah, let's do that. But when you put shit in writing, memories are mobile. they flexible. Memories are flexible. When you write shit down in black and white, that paper ain't gonna change. Unless that fucking fourth dimensional being come in there and do that weird shit they always like to do to me. But yeah. That paperwork ain't gonna change for the most part. So we can always go back and say, hey man, I know I said this at this point in time, but I feel like we should probably come up with something a little bit more up to date to what my needs are or what your needs are.
Yeah, because I'm seeing a similar situation possibly happening right now. To that extent, I don't know, but when you're involved with friends but people that are involved with business get involved with other people and become friends afterwards, people sometimes may get jealous of the fact that some people may come in and they don't get the respect or the terms because they weren't doing what the people who came in doing business first started to.
Yeah,
and jealousy comes in between and all that stuff.
That's a whole nother that's a whole nother thing because what I was referring to is people, like you said, starting as friends. They have this grand idea to do something together, and it turns out to be a big idea, and it's a lucrative idea. And now people weird about money, and they are. I call it the human effect, where in my mind, everything I'm doing is right, and not necessarily right in the sense of I got all the right answers, but right in the sense of I feel like I'm making the right choice or the right decisions.
Good intent.
Yeah, it's good intentions, but from your perspective, what you see me doing
bragging or something
is not the best thing because from that other perspective, in my mind, what I'm doing is right, and we got an issue that we don't agree on. But I feel like I'm right. They feel like they're right. And so, that's the human effect. Nobody wakes up in the morning and goes out and says, unless they're sadists or some crazy shit, but nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to go fuck somebody over. You know what I mean? Like, my intention this morning is to go fuck somebody over, unless they feel like they're trying to get some retribution for some shit that they feel like they were wronged on, So, but yeah, people start out as friends. They come up with an idea and it turns into a big idea, and they didn't do the paperwork from the beginning to maintain their friendships throughout the lucrative parts because money makes people. It amplifies the things that they already were. If I was stingy a little bit, when I get a lot of money, I'm gonna be stingy a lot of bit. If I was an asshole a little bit, when I get a lot of money, I'm gonna be an asshole a lot of bit. If I'm generous a little bit, when I get a lot of money, I'm gonna be generous a lot of bit. And that, in all of those cases, that can either lend to be a benefit, and it can also lend to be a failure. So, yeah. So I learned from that whole situation, like anybody can. Well, there were some other things that kind of led me to that realization too. Anybody can do something great. Anybody can do something that blows up to be a big idea if they're willing to really put their energy into it. But with that being said, protect your relationships from the beginning with that. So,
How do you recommend going about getting contracts for things like that? Lawyers type it up on a computer.
a contract is a written document that two people agree on. You don't have to have a fucking lawyer to make a contract. You don't have. All you hear, what you really should have is a witness, and then the two people or two or more people who, I mean, you kind of write a contract with yourself, but two or more people who are going to be in agreement on the contract. Why you want a witness is to have a unbiased party that actually can attest to all of these people actually came into agreement. That's why people get like notaries. They go to notaries to attest this actually happened. You know, all these people were present. All of them signed this document. If you go to court, they can't say, I ain't signed that shit. You know, you got a witness or a notary. But you can handwrite, we gonna split every dime that comes in 50-50 from this podcast. Period. Michael Reeves. Andre Tidwell.
Antwon Carter.
I ain't know your last name. Antwon Carter. You know, so now we go to court and we like, how you gonna split 50-50 three ways? I understand what you intend to do. So what I'm gonna do, Judge, is I'm gonna split it 33 1/3. But we understood from the beginning what we intend to do. We might not have had all the right words, but you know what the intention was it put in writing. So I mean, you don't have to be elaborate with a contract. You don't have to be. You don't have to have a lawyer dictate every possibility and everything. Now, obviously, when you get into more
Bigger situations.
bigger business things that have already materialized and you have more moving parts to it, then yeah, you have a lawyer, especially if you got the means to have a lawyer. You know, at that point, then yeah, you hire a lawyer that goes through and with the fine-tooth comb, make sure everything is in place. And if something gets fucked up that should have been in there, then the lawyer has to go stand behind his contract and argue the terms to make sure that you get what you were intending to get on your end of the contract. So, yeah, man, simplify it. Just a little piece of paper. This is what our intentions are. Sign off on it.
Keep a copy.
Yeah, everybody keep a copy. Get it notarized. Get a witness. Whatever.
Lucrative tip of the day. If you're in business with friends, especially in general, get a contract.
Yeah.
Write a contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've been in the music industry about 21, 22 years now, correct?
20, I would say. What, 16? No, it's been more than that. Yeah, so 22.
And you've had artists signed to a label before.
Uh-huh.
What was your biggest learning experience working with artists on that level?
What was my biggest takeaway?
Yeah.
All right, so my biggest takeaway with that was don't spread yourself too thin. Be more than prepared. And the third biggest takeaway would be I have to kind of elaborate on the third biggest takeaway. The third biggest takeaway revolves around I signed artists who presented themselves as hard workers. They came in, they were actually doing stuff, and then I was like, okay, let's put together a partnership so that I can take what you're already doing, I can add in what I'm capable of doing, and we can make it a big thing. I guess they felt like everything was supposed to be easy for them from then on. So I guess I would say be sure that who you're going into a deal or a business partner relationship with is willing to continue giving the maximum effort towards the success of the end goal. Because if one person is working harder than if everybody involved is not working as hard as they can towards the end goal, then you got dead weight. It's kind of like a car. Like if something in the engine is fucked up, it might be pushing a little bit, but it's like you got a valve that's off. Eventually, the engine gonna fucking blow up because everything else is overworking. It's getting hot. It's overheating. Engine gonna blow up. You're gonna have complete failure over the whole car. So if everything is in tune, everybody's pushing, and even if it's something where like I know I'm not capable of doing this right here, but I'm going to push here. If you're able to let the rest of the team know this is something that I'm not proficient at, I need help here in this part, then we can find another way to make that happen. So be over prepared. Be over prepared in the sense of know what it's going to take for you to get to your goal. Like first off, set your goals. Like know what your goals are in a time period that it should take you to get to those goals. And then either work up, right up to your goal or right back down from your goal, back down to where you are. All of your steps to get to your goal. And then be over prepared to complete all of those steps. Make sure you have everything that you need times 120%. So like if I know, let's say my goal is to get an artist radio airplay in 4 regions, right? I know it's going to cost $10,000 per region for radio promotion. This is old school shit. Don't nobody do radio promotion no more. But anyway, so basically I'm going to need $40,000. Fuck that. No, I need $60,000 because I'm 120% prepared. Well, actually, that would be 150% prepared. But either way, in case something comes up to where there's failure in one part or you got finessed in some area or somebody changed their rates or some opportunity came about which could land you better than the end goal, and you're able to take advantage of it because you're over prepared. So be over prepared, and then don't spread yourself too thin. I signed 8 artists, and had all the artists did number 3, we'd have been No Limit. We'd have been Cash Money Records. We'd have been Bad Boy. All the great Death Row. All the great empires that you remember in the music industry. We would have been one of those. Had everybody, everybody was number 3. But that wasn't the case. And we didn't know what to look for in order to create what happened there. We weren't prepared. We weren't over prepared. And so when 3 and 2 failed, number 1 is bound to fail. You got too many parts to keep a hold on. And you doing this all day. And after a while, you're going to be like, nigga, I need to eat. I'm supporting your lifestyle, but I got kids to feed too. Like, we gotta have to figure out another. But when you spread yourself too thin, like, that's what happens. I mean, you got too many ways to spend. You got too many baskets that you put in your eggs into, and you didn't have the other things in place to, So if you don't spread yourself too thin, you get a focus on maybe a few or even one thing, then you're better able to manage the other 2 parts to make that number 1 or those few things successful. And as the few things become successful, it makes it easier to add on more parts, add on other people who can manage, build systems that you build success systems, build systems that you have went through, proven, and been able to train somebody else to complete those processes in the same manner that you found to be successful. And when you're able to build systems, of course, the systems can evolve as time and technology changes. But once you start with that focus group, then that's how you can get to that part. We did too much. At the end of the day, we did too much.
Okay. So, in your opinion, an artist to be successful today, what do you think they need to have in order for that to be the case?
For an artist to be successful today, they just gotta know how to work TikTok. That's it. They just gotta know how to work TikTok. That's what a lot of these labels and everybody is using as their meter is TikTok. So I just gotta be able to use TikTok. They gotta know how to work the TikTok. Now that'll probably change in 2023. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some other new thing that'll come out and people be dancing on it and shit. And that'll be the new industry meter. But as of today, TikTok is the champion.
A word or phrase that makes you great.
A word or phrase that makes me great?
Yes.
I would say humility, but then fucking the squeaky wheel gets the old man, so I ain't been squeaky enough. Be squeaky. Squeaky. That's the great word of the day.
Squeaky. All right.
Squeak, motherfucker.
What is your brand?
What's my brand?
Yes.
As of right now, I would say AMI is my brand. That's the only brand that I've been heavily invested in. My personal brand is, I hate to say it, but I gotta say it, it's still under development.
That's respectable. If you had this, are you close to anything in that regard? Could you at least say that?
No, man. I'm a ghost driver in a meat suit. I'm trying to figure that shit out.
All right, ghost driver. Okay. A word or advice to anybody trying to get to where you are today?
Do your research. I don't think I did enough research. I'm bad about fucking jumping in head first, sorting the shit out later. Do your research. I think I would have avoided a lot of setbacks with a little bit more research.
As far as
Just in general, like whatever you feel like you're about to get into, like dig in and find out what the ins and outs are and the requirements before doing so.
you have a top setback on your list,
A top setback?
or a most important setback that
I
you
don't-
wish you could have.
I don't see anything as setbacks because I see everything as learning opportunities. Before I would have answered, that before. I would have answered, I would have said that these are setbacks before, but now I've grown into seeing things as learning opportunities because, as I said, we're all evolving, we're all growing. If you're not evolving, you're dying. If you don't look at opportunity, if you don't look at things that you've done as an opportunity to figure out a growth point from whether it was successful in your mind or it was unsuccessful in your mind, then you're preparing yourself for redundancy and death, really, because you're not going to grow. I mean, you're just going to keep wishing on the lucky stars to get to the same place again, So if you figure out if I did something that was successful, what did I do right to get to that point, and what things could I have done better? Or if I failed at something, what things could I have done better to get to my successful point? Then yeah, those are just key questions to help you learn how to navigate to where you want to be.
All right. Any questions you would like to ask us?
Where you see this podcast going? When you dropping this shit? Now, where do you see? What is your end goal for 2.5 LLCs podcast?
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first.
The future of 2.5 LLCs podcast, in my opinion, is to be a place where people can learn and also obtain content that is beneficial for them for a lifetime. As far as when they come and watch and listen to each of our episodes, they learn something from each show and they appreciate it because they can use it to what's going on in their life for a lifetime.
Right. You know, another cool little fact I learned, just listening to my son playing random TikTok videos. There is something that you have said that somebody remembers vividly that you never remember saying.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Everybody has that. Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, that's cool, because I've heard some shit from some people that I'm pretty sure they don't remember saying. I've even said it to them, like, you remember that time you said this to me? And they're like, nah. But it had a big effect on the trajectory of either my life or what I was doing at the time, or well, I guess that would lead to my life. But yeah, so I see what you're saying. You want to build something that potentially could last in the memory of somebody, whether it be something you said accidentally or something you said intentionally.
Yeah, because playing the quantity game, a lot of things, in my opinion, gets lost trying to keep up with the Joneses. Understandably, still have a presence, but if there could be quality without the uploads every single day, I'll rather the quality uploads of content rather than you're going to see something every day, but it maybe sometimes they just don't hit. I want to try to make sure, at least on my front, that when people come see our show, that there will be quality, something of quality they can hear,
right,
or see, that we can provide for their listening and viewing experience. Because it shows about learning about other people's journeys, as well as learning how we are coming into our own as individuals, because we're all going somewhere or have been somewhere that we can provide information to the audience that they may want to know about us or our guests that could be beneficial, because a lot of people can see what happens or what the work they put in, but they don't really hear too much of the backstory of what it took to get to that level.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the essence of this iteration of the show now and going forward. So what are your thoughts on where you see it in the future?
I see it, you know, same way you see it, as a place where people can use this as like a reference for where they may be in life, because, you know, we bring different people on and different professions, and people can learn that you see the success because you know who that person is, but you know that person isn't, you know, where they are without their story or their experiences. And sometimes, you know, that listening to somebody tell you that, you know, to get to here they had to go through this, you know, it's almost like it's like encouragement or something, that, you know, where you at, it's not where you're going to stay. It's kind of like you feel like you off track, but when you hear somebody tell it to you, it's like you right on course.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Cause it's a lot to it.
Yeah.
That goes unspoken or seen that people just don't know. Mm-hmm. And they think, oh, it's easy. No, it's not. Oh, it took a month. No, it didn't.
Yeah.
It takes years for people to be successful.
Yeah.
You just don't see what goes into it.
Yeah. Even if something started, you know, from a month from it started to, you know, success point, you don't see how many times they failed at trying to get to that one start. So, yeah, you gotta fail. I rapped and been in the music and I've been in the music industry for 2 years, but I've been trying to get into it for 4. I just didn't know what I was doing the first 2. Technically 1 and 4 because I got here the half of the second. That's when I interned. So
it's a lot of dead raps on my hard drive. A lot of dead songs. Some people may say my past work have been a few dead songs. I can't say I disagree, but I have grown from then, and even recently with this upcoming project I've been working on, it's been this man literally right beside me said, "Sounds cool, but I can't remember a line," and I took that to note, and I was like, "You know what? He has a point. He's right." And I just kind of since then been pretty much refining and making new developments, iterations.
Man, don't be listening to me, man.
No, but you had a very great point though.
Somebody else might listen to that and find all kinds of things.
Yeah, but I went through a point as an artist where I had to figure out how to get my creativity and also my newfound development, production, and artistry wise to come back together.
Yeah,
and I'm starting to find that balance out. So you got to have some feedback.
I'm not your demographic. Get your demographic to listen to it and see if they don't get no dick riders. Get you somebody in your demographic. Get that ugly friend in the demographic that's gonna be like, that ain't it. That one. Tell me why it ain't it. Tell me what you know. So.
But still, that still had a point because as far as putting emotion in the records and figuring out sometimes what can hit and make a difference, you every now and then you need a line that'll kind of bring them in. Like, oh, shit, what? Like, what did he say? That's crazy. All right, let me tune in a little bit to hear more of what's happening, because every artist has a special thing people like about them.
Right.
And whatever that is for you and whoever, that's what's going to bring them in.
21. Shit hard. All right.
With that being said, there are tacos sitting across
them
the room.
Them tacos cold as shit. I'm going to have to microwave the hell out of them.
And we have no more topics or questions to broach. With that being said, we appreciate you all being involved with this experience, listening and hearing the 2.5 LLCs podcast. If you want to follow us, it's 2-1/2 LLCs podcast on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen/watch podcasts on, we are there. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at retrod.r.e. And you want to look up other stuff I'm into on YouTube, same, capital R, lowercase e, capital T, lowercase R-O, space, lowercase d, dot R, lowercase, dot, capital E. And on all streaming platforms, same thing, hearing music, instrumentals, I'm there. And Antwon, want to find him, you can find him.
Carterboy2521 on Instagram.
And Suprbadd over here, if you want to find him, if he wants to be found,
refer to Artist Mail International.
All right.
AMI Studios on all your platforms. No, I'm sorry. Shit. AMI Studios NC. I don't even know what my damn Instagram is. Look up Artist Mail Studios. You can find me on everything. Suprbadd.
And
no E, 2 D's, like your favorite stripper.
And if you would like to book a session at where we do this podcast, Artist Mail International Studios, you can type that in Google, look us up there. We do charge $80 an hour for a 2-hour minimum for studio time. If you want to do a podcast, that's $60 an hour. And for other info and services you may need, give us a call at the number that will be below in the description or right here where I wave my hand. And yeah, we appreciate y'all for another moment in the morning, noon, and night, whatever you're listening and hearing this. And this is the conclusion of the 2.5 LLCs podcast. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.